Hi guys, welcome to Office Blokes React Time. Office Bloke Dave.
I'm Office Bloke Mike.
I'm Office Bloke Daz.
Collectively, we're the Office Blokes in a room together a couple of days before Christmas. How many days? 3 days? 4 days?
About 3.
About 4.
3.5 days till Christmas.
I keep thinking it's Saturday, but it's Sunday, isn't it?
22nd today.
Yeah, there you go. Almost at Christmas. You in the
Is
mood?
it Friday, Saturday?
Is it? Oh, I thought it was 21st.
Are you ready for it? Are you in the mood?
It's
Yeah.
21st.
It is.
25th on Sunday.
It's the longest day then today.
It is. Shortest, in fact.
Shortest day.
Shortest day today,
Correct,
longest night.
Yeah, shortest day.
Winter solstice.
I know it's the longest and shortest of summer, but
Yeah, so let us know if we're great at factual statements in the comment section when we don't know what day it is. So this is from Infographics, Navy SEALs versus Green Berets. I'm sure it's
that'd be interesting matchup, wouldn't it?
Yeah. I think there's a military exercise where special forces from all around the world do exercises together, and it's like they're against each other. And I heard sort of anecdotally someone, I think it was on a podcast, talking about the fact that the SAS guys were just they're winning absolutely every challenge.
Yeah.
I know they're not Green Berets, but just all other special forces, they were just beating them and they couldn't figure it out.
Yeah.
There better some testosterone going around
God.
that meeting, won't there? Wow.
I'm thinking Green Berets.
Yeah.
It's just any elite special forces
Anyway,
are just next level.
Yeah,
anyway,
I've,
aren't
met,
they?
I've met some from different forces from around the world, special forces who were doing training where I used to live. And I'd say, some of them, you just look at them and just think, nah, you ain't real. You're just psychopaths.
Yeah.
They've got no fear of anything.
No, they've got to be like that, haven't they? Could you imagine going into some situations they go into?
And they're super calm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You just know.
Again,
As soon as you talk to one of them, you think, special forces.
Yeah.
And you say, what do you do? And he's like, I'm ex-special forces, train over here.
Yeah.
Again, they've got to be unflappable, really, haven't they? Otherwise, there's no way you could do the job otherwise.
Yeah.
What do
No
you do?
chance.
I work abroad a few weeks every year.
Yeah.
So what do you do? Just abroad.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, let's find out then. Navy SEALs versus Green Berets. Which military special forces unit wins?
In times of crisis, the Commander-in-Chief has the entire United States military at their disposal. When it comes to dangerous and sensitive missions, there are certain elite soldiers who can get the job done. The elite soldiers we're talking about are the Navy SEALs and the Green Berets. Each is a special forces branch of the military. Let's take a look at the similarities and differences between these two military powerhouses. The name Navy SEAL tells us two things. The first is that this is the Special Forces branch of the Navy and that they conduct missions on sea, air, and land. This is what the acronym SEAL stands for. These elite soldiers are used in direct raids, reconnaissance missions, and action against terrorist forces. The Navy SEALs can trace their heritage back to World War II. During the war, elite naval soldiers were assigned to naval combat demolition units and underwater demolition teams. The missions they carried out were to disarm mines and recover sunken objects. These dangerous missions required the best soldiers the Navy had to offer. They were nicknamed frogmen after their green suits and amphibious nature. These frogmen eventually evolved into what's known today as the Navy SEALs. Due to Cold War tensions in 1961, President John F. Kennedy called for an increase in special forces. The following year, the U.S. Navy created the first two SEAL teams. The soldiers were recruited straight from the underwater demolition units. Navy SEALs continue to carry out important and top priority missions to this day. Green Berets are the Special Forces unit of the United States Army. Green Berets specialize in counterinsurgency. Like the Navy SEALs, the Green Berets can trace their history back to World War II as well. However, the name Green Beret did not come into use until the 1950s. The idea behind creating Green Beret squads was to create small tactical teams that could sabotage enemy communications and supply lines. The first actual Special Forces unit in the U.S. was formed in 1952 under the U.S. Army Psychological Warfare Division. 2 years later, the Army Special Forces soldiers incorporated their iconic Green Berets into their uniforms to distinguish themselves from other branches of the military. In 1962, the Army Special Forces gained official and exclusive rights to the Berets, thus immortalizing the name Green Berets in history. Navy SEALs and Green Berets both have their own requirements for candidacy. In order to become a Navy SEAL, you must have at least 20/40 vision in your best eye and 20/70 in your worst eye with
I'm out. My eyes are dog shit.
We have the SAS and the SBS, don't we?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sea and boat, air and sea.
Do we have any other
boat.
special sort of forces
That's what I was. I mean, it's paratroopers are just paratroopers. That's not a special force, is it?
That's just a branch.
Paratroopers and
it'd be a branch.
like
no,
commandos.
Paras, yeah.
Yeah. I don't know if we've got any other.
I'm sure we have.
We've got Royal Marines Commandos.
Yeah.
Are they special forces?
Yeah,
I think
well,
Royal Marines
sort
is
of
a
commandos
branch as well, isn't it?
Yeah, yeah, I think so.
I don't know much about them, but I know there's a Special Air Service and the Special Boat Service.
Yeah.
Which I think the Special Boat Service most popular one is Ant Middleton, isn't he? He was SBS.
Yeah.
Oh, was he? Oh, right. I thought it was SAS.
No, you don't think you know of anyone who was SAS?
No.
Right.
No. The guy, I've not watched SAS Who Dares Wins for a couple of years, but it's an American guy.
American guy does it now, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. He's a unit as well, man.
He is a bit
massive.
My bro watches
Yeah,
it, and he says the guy's pretty cool.
Yeah, he
You know,
is.
he seems
Yeah.
like he seems good.
Yeah.
I'm gonna
he's-
have to watch it.
He's the sort of person that just squeeze you right around the ear or something and kill you.
Without blinking.
With no color blindness. This means that some people are disqualified just on eyesight alone. You must have a minimum Armed Services Vocational Aptitude Battery score of 220 and to be 28 years old or younger. The final requirement is that you need to be a U.S. citizen and eligible for security clearance. You must meet all these requirements before you will even be considered for the training regiment. In order to be considered for the Green Berets, an applicant must be a U.S. citizen and between 20 to 32 years of age by the day they're sent to Infantry 1 Station Unit training. You must also be an active duty member of the Army or National Guard and qualify for airborne training. To meet strength and endurance requirements for the Green Berets, an applicant must complete a minimum of 49 push-ups, 59 sit-ups, run 2 miles in under 15 minutes and 12 seconds, and do 6 pull-ups. How did the training regiment stack up between the Navy SEALs and Green Berets? Training for a Navy SEAL is consistently rated the most difficult training out of any branch of the military. The training for a Navy SEAL is made up of 3 core pillars. The first is to create men of character, which means to train each soldier to uphold the Navy's core values. The next pillar of training is physical. Navy SEALs must be physically fit and trained to work in every environment, but most especially water. The final pillar of training is technical. The training to become a Navy SEAL requires soldiers to be intelligent and able to quickly learn new tasks. There are 2 months of preparatory training before a soldier can even begin their Navy SEAL training. This preparatory period includes demanding physical and mental screening tests. Once the preliminary training is over, SEAL candidates enter a 6-month basic underwater demolition training program. This is the part of the training that is cited as being the most difficult training in all of the U.S. military. The candidates must undergo constant physical and mental tests. They're also trained in basic water competency skills, underwater combat, weapons and demolitions training, and navigation on dry land.
I don't think underwater combat is karate stud.
I was just to say underwater combat. Has there ever been combat underwater?
I'm sure there has.
You fight the shark.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or riding a shark into battle. Shark Wars.
That'd be good.
Then there's Hell Week, and it lives up to its name. This part of SEAL training is 5 days or more of candidates being pushed to their breaking point through intense physical and mental exertion around the clock. They're only allowed about 4 hours of sleep the entire period. It's at this point about 75% of candidates fail or drop out. If a candidate makes it through Hell Week, then they're put through weeks of intermediate training, including small unit tactics, parachuting, and cold weather operations. But nothing is as difficult as Hell Week. If a soldier can make it through all of the rigorous training exercises, then they're awarded the Trident. This is the official Navy SEAL symbol. Once the soldier receives their Trident, they are assigned to a SEAL platoon, where they have several more months of advanced training for specialty skills. It's after this point that soldiers can call themselves a Navy SEAL. Green Berets start out with
People have died in that Hell Week, haven't they? Buds, they call it.
It
Isn't it?
seems
Yeah, I would
seriously
imagine.
intense, doesn't it?
I've listened to a few people talk about their experiences of it, and it's like it's proper, you know, weed out anyone that's not good enough to be there.
That's the whole point, isn't it? You know, if you're not absolutely in the top 100%, then you've got no chance.
Yeah. Yeah, it's next level, isn't it? I love watching people do stuff like this, but unfortunately I'm too old to be in the Special Forces now, so
Yeah.
So
My son tried out to be a Royal Marine. He went straight
Did he?
Declan, yeah. He went when he applied, he was going to go in the military, and he went straight to be a Royal Marine. I'm like, mate. Anyway, he was kind of like, he said, you're not quite ready yet, but we want you to come back in like 4 months.
Yeah.
With a bit more fitness.
Yeah.
And he's super fit, as you know.
yeah.
But his mate was out with his mate on Sunday, and he is ready to go to Sandhurst.
Oh really?
Yeah.
Officer training.
nice.
Yeah.
Wow. Yeah, I think my dad was supposed to join the Royal Marines when he was younger, but the day he was supposed to be enlisting or enrolling or something, I think he'd already signed the paperwork and was good to go, but he couldn't go because he was in court for something else. And that kind of got in the way of him.
Yeah, it would. Yeah.
Basic combat training. Candidates who aspire to be Green Berets must also have completed advanced individual training and U.S. Army Airborne School. Soldiers then need to report to Fort Bragg to complete a 6-week course in physical fitness and land navigation called the Special Forces Preparation Course. Next, the candidates need to go through the Special Forces Assessment and Selection Training. During this training, soldiers' survival skills are tested and their physical and mental fitness is pushed to its limits. The final phase of the training is the Special Forces Qualification Course. This is a 53-week training course in small unit tactics, combat marksmanship, advanced Special Forces tactics, language and cultural training, and unconventional warfare. Once these 53 weeks are over, the soldier can finally be deployed as a Green Beret. Navy SEALs and Green Berets are both elite Special Forces units. The Navy SEAL training is more difficult to get through, but the Green Berets training is a longer process. There's currently around 2,500 Navy SEALs on active duty. There are about 7,000 Green Berets on active duty. Reports state that the number of Green Berets may be decreasing. The strain of repeated deployments and failure to meet recruiting targets are starting to take its toll on the Green Berets. The amount of soldiers in a squad differs between Navy SEALs and Green Berets as well. SEAL squads consist of approximately 16 men, but may be divided into smaller squads and fire teams as needed. Green Beret squads work as 12-soldier teams known as an A-team. Each member of the team has a specific job within the squad. The two Special Forces branches have specific mission types. However, Green Berets and Navy SEALs do work together from time to time. There have been missions where the two branches are deployed to complete missions together, and other times where a squad is a mix of Navy SEALs and Green Berets. Normally, Navy SEALs are assigned to specific missions based on the skills required. In the case of Navy SEALs, the skill set of the squad drives the decision of where they'll be deployed. Green Berets are assigned to 9 different types of missions. These missions are unconventional warfare, foreign internal defense, direct action, counterinsurgency, special reconnaissance, counterterrorism, information operations, counter-proliferation of weapons of mass destruction, and security force assistance.
Some very ambiguous terms there, aren't there?
Yeah, kill people.
Yeah, it's an unconventional warfare exercise. That could be anything, couldn't it?
It's got me. It's 53 weeks of training.
It's madness, isn't
long
it?
time, isn't it? That?
Yeah.
Wow, long time.
That's what you got to do if you want to be the best of the
Making sure,
best, I
that's
guess.
right, they're making sure they've got the best.
Yeah, oh, absolutely. Yeah, you know when they got Obama. No, was that the Navy SEALs that did that?
Barack Obama.
Barack Obama.
Osama bin
Osama
Laden.
bin Laden. Obama. You know what I mean.
I did. But I wasn't letting that go.
No,
Cheers.
I'm letting that slide.
I appreciate that one.
he's born in Hawaii, mate. He is a citizen.
Prove it.
It was SEAL Team 6, I think, that did the
Yeah, I thought so. Yeah.
Barack Obama
The
mission.
Osama. Yeah.
The squad is deployed based on the geographic focus of the Green Beret platoon. If the squad has been trained in Middle Eastern cultures, they will most likely be deployed to that region of the world. But in extreme circumstances, Green Berets are sent wherever they're needed most. When it comes down to it, the training necessary to join each elite force is rigorous and difficult to get through. You can be sure that the soldiers from both branches of the military will be skilled and lethal. But what about their weapons? How do Navy SEAL weapons stack up against the weapons of the Green Berets? For handguns, the Navy SEALs use a 9mm Sig Sauer P226, which can have a 20-round clip. The other option Navy SEALs have is the Mk23 Mod 0 45 caliber offensive handgun, which has a standard 12-round clip. Both handguns are equipped with the suppressor and laser aiming module. These modifications allow for stealthiness and better accuracy. For rifles, Navy SEALs use a plethora of different guns. Most common is the M4A1, which has a 550-yard range and a 30-round magazine. SEALs have also been known to use the AK-47 along with submachine guns, shotguns, and sniper rifles to supplement the firepower in their squad. The standard issue handgun for the Green Beret is the Glock.
I suppose if you're doing, non-conventional warfare, you wouldn't want the standard issue M4 being left behind on the unconventional battlefield.
Right. Yeah,
So
true.
it's in your best interest that an AK-47's lying around.
There, which are everywhere.
Yeah.
I'm guessing.
I guess they just use anything.
Wonder how many people, even if people do it, make the switch between the SEAL and the Berets, Green Berets, whether they go from Green Berets to SEALs or SEAls to Green Berets.
I think it's. I've heard someone talk about a similar thing. There's a guy called David Goggins that was a Navy SEAL, and he then trained to be an Army Ranger.
Right.
And he said it's unheard of that you go and do something like that, and he was vilified for it.
Right.
Because it's like you're leaving us to be with them.
Yeah.
I think there is a lot of competition between these guys.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
Yeah, I bet.
Supplement the firepower in their squad. The standard issue handgun for the Green Beret is the Glock 19. This pistol was selected for its low visibility, which allows it to be concealed easily. This is important as the Green Beret uniform might change to meet mission requirements. The Glock 19 magazine capacity can vary from 6 rounds to 33 and can fire over 100 rounds a minute. The two most used rifles for the Green Berets are the MK17 Scar and the M4 Carbine. The Scar is designed for mid-range engagements and has a standard 20-round magazine. The M4 is used by soldiers who prefer the customizability of the gun and its light weight. Green Berets will choose the right gun for the specific mission they're assigned. Another difference between the Navy SEALs and the Green Berets are the crafts they use from mission to mission. Navy SEALs have a wide variety of vehicles at their disposal for deployment. They use aquatic crafts such as the SEAL delivery vehicle and the combat rubber raiding craft, a 15-foot heavily reinforced inflatable rubber boat. The Navy SEALs also have several other ships and larger craft for deployment and extraction. On the other hand, Green Berets tend to only use one vehicle, the Ground Mobility Vehicle. It's a lightweight, all-terrain truck that can be used in a variety of environments and missions, and it would seem that the Ground Mobility Vehicle is versatile enough to complete almost any Green Beret assignment. The fact that the Navy SEALs must work in the water and air as well as on land means they need a more diverse array of delivery vehicles. Deployment time varies within each Special Forces branch. SEALs typically operate on 18-month cycles and are deployed for 6 months at a time. However, some units with special assignments or skills have their own schedules. They may be deployed more frequently but for shorter amounts of time. Green Berets deployment lengths can vary, but deployment time is normally between 90 days and 15 months. All in all, Navy SEALs and Green Berets are well-trained elite soldiers. They can get deployed anywhere around the world for a variety of missions. Both Navy SEALs and Green Berets have to go through hell and prove they have what it takes through months of training. These soldiers are the best of the best and are given the equipment they need to complete any mission. Sometimes, SEALs and Green Berets work together, and I'd hate to be the mission target for that squad. Now go watch American Soldier, USA versus British Soldier, military comparison.
That'd be an interesting one.
Yeah,
Very much so.
That's they're all scary people if you're on the wrong end of the rifle.
Yeah, they're all trained, aren't they? That's what it comes down to. I see that we were talking the other day about India and their military and all that, and they just sent a massive troop contingent up to the border with China, haven't they?
Really?
Just last night, yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, to the what mountain range is there? Is it it's like the Himalayas?
Himalayas, I suppose.
Yeah, it's a bit Himalayas.
mountains there,
Yeah.
Yeah, it's, I don't really know much about the tensions between the countries over there, India and China and stuff. I presume it's not good.
Both nuclear as well.
Yeah, not ideal really.
No.
At all, but
Yeah, when you're up against anyone that's trained in anything, and you're not trained,
You've got no chance, have you?
it's
anything, talking anything.
It makes a difference, doesn't it? The training makes the difference.
If you go head to head with a mathematician on math, you're not going to do anything. He's going to wipe the floor, or she's going to wipe the floor with you every time.
Yeah, absolutely true. Yeah.
Well,
It'd be interesting to see the training regime for the Green Berets, Navy SEALs, as opposed to like the SAS and SBS, wouldn't it? See, I'm guessing some things are fairly similar because they're doing the same type of work, aren't they? So they do tend to work quite closely with the US, don't they, on certain things. So
it's all insane stuff like parasailing down the side of a mountain with no rope.
Fighting a bear to the death.
Living with a piece of chewing gum.
living inside a recently passed away camel.
That's just Bear Grylls, isn't it?
Yeah, he
just
was Special Forces, wasn't he?
He was SAS.
Yeah.
Was he?
Yeah, but I think he broke his back on a mission or something, or was it on a... It was a parachute jump. He broke his back, and I think that was the end of it for him.
And he's only tiny, isn't he? Like, very thin and doesn't look healthy, but he's a proper beast of a man.
Yeah,
he is.
Yeah. People are just so strong and everything, aren't they? And just everything about them. Yeah, again, most of it is mental, I suppose, though, isn't it, as well? Yeah. You've got to be fit, but mentally, they've got to be absolutely spot on.
You see people like that, Foxy. I don't know his
Chris.
I don't know his first name. I can't remember. But he's like, you see him as well. He's just scared you looking at you, doesn't he?
Yeah.
It's a proper unit.
Yeah, you wouldn't mess with him, would you?
See,
Not at all.
I think Ant Middleton's got a bit more charm and charisma about him, which is a little bit deceiving. Whereas that Foxy, he kind of got that 1,000-yard stare, where it's like
darker, maybe a bit more.
He's never left the battlefield.
No,
He's
just looking at targets.
Yeah, everyone reminds him of someone who's hurt him. Isn't it? Everyone he stares at.
Yeah. If you listen to Ant Middleton's story, though, he did prison time, didn't he, before he was in the SAS?
He comes around here a lot.
Does he?
Yeah. He's around the railway area.
I've got one of his books, and he talks about it in that where he, I think he got in trouble on a night out, and then a cop grabbed him and spun him round, and he turned around and just knocked the cop out. Didn't realise it was a cop, and then just ran, and then was like hiding in a riverbed in -degrees with the cops looking for him, and
underwater for 4 days, with a straw to breathe through.
But I think he ended up doing time for that, and then when he came out, I think that was when he went to Special Forces.
Yeah.
So there's naughty boys there as well.
Yeah,
it's just got to be a certain type of mentality, isn't it?
They've all got like an edge to them, haven't they? They really have, without a doubt. But impressive stuff that.
Hope you guys enjoyed that. Don't forget, like and subscribe. We'll catch you on the next one.
Cheers, guys.
Cheers.